Krievi bija apmēram kā 200. Un mēs bijām kā 23, 25. Bet kāda izēja? Mēs mūksim. Viņi mums pa pēdām nāks un viņi mums nošaus mūs visu. Mēs cīnījāmies līdz pēdējiem.
As the Second World War drew to a close, the Soviet army pushed Nazi forces out of the occupied Baltic States on their move towards Berlin. However, after the war ended, it quickly became clear that the Soviets had no intention of giving the Baltic States the independence that all three had gained in 1918. They found themselves now trapped behind what would come to be known as the Iron Curtain. Former soldiers who had fought on both sides of the war now feared for their lives under a government that was quickly rounding up and eliminating anyone who had supported the idea of independence. An estimated 50,000 men and women across the Baltic states took up arms and disappeared into the forest. Arvids Eriks Blusmanis, a former Latvian border guard, was one of them.
Mums bija kaut kas 15,000 laikam pa visu Latviju, un visi cīnījās. Tur bija aizsargi, tur bija policisti, tur visi ienaidnieki priekš Krievijas. Es kā parādīšos, tā man Krievs tūlīt aiz Sibiriju un uz Sibiriju prom. Kā Sibirijā tā tur badā un maize, vairāk nekas. Un tad pagāja kādi 2 dienas, 3 dienas, un jau mums ziņoja, ka Krievija jau ir kādi 3 kilometri no mums. Bija kā 2 stundu pārtraukums. Mēs sagatavojamies, izrakām tur, cik varēja tranšejas, vai ne? Sameklējam kokus tādus, kur varēja koka. Un tas Pakulis, tas grupas komandieris, viņš deva rīkojumu. Mēs neatkāpsimies, ka pielaidīs granātas metienā, tad tikai atklāt uguni. Un tā mēs arī izdarījām. A tie virsnieki, Krievu virsnieki, tiem zaldātiem teica. Viņš saka, tie banditi nobijušies un aizmuka. Tā kā viņi nāca mežā iekšā, runājās, cits pīpēja un tā tālāk. Viņi bija pāraudzināti. Viņi tā kā domā, ka tur neviena nav. O tā. Tāda sajūta bija, kad tikai to jādod uz priekšu. Mēs bijām, zini, tā kā kulaks, zini. Tad viņi nāca, un tad mēs atklājam uguni, tad tur visi, tā bija cauri. Tie, kas dzīvi, tie atkāpās, un tie pārējie visi tur. Un mēs aizgājām, mēs jau viņus negaidījām.
The Forrest brothers across the Baltics received widespread support from the civilian population, who were keen to re-establish their statehood, despite the risks involved with doing so if caught by the Soviet state security forces. Ilma Jurik was 13 years old when, in 1944, a group of young men from her village in Estonia took up arms against the Soviets.
Nende abistamine toimus nii, et minu kodus tehti neile leiba ja muud toitaineid. Ühesõnaga, majanduslikult sai neid varustatud. See elu oli küllaltki raske. Oli ju vaja riideid korrastada ja muretseda ja külarahvas tõi sooja riideid enne talve tulekut. Et rahvas lihtsalt tahtis neid toetada ja selle tõttu nad said ka nii kaua seal rahulikult olla. Muidu see poleks olnud mõeldav. sest enamus meie küla peredest kõik olid teadlikud. Ja nende suureks unistuseks oli see, et nad oleks saanud õlma alt välja võtta relva ja kanda seda ja kaitsta oma kodu ja Eesti rahvast.
The most organized of all the groups were to be found in Lithuania, where partisans controlled large areas of the country right up until 1949. They made official uniforms, enforced a military hierarchy, and wrote a declaration of independence for the nation. Although the Forest brothers fought hard for their independence, the Soviet state security services eventually managed to infiltrate many of the larger groups, and most armed resistance ceased with an amnesty in 1953, the year of Stalin's death. The Baltic States eventually gained their independence from the Soviet Union, but the legacy of a struggle by a small force against overwhelming odds lives on today in the Special Forces units of all three countries.
All our history derives from the Forest brothers. Their tactics of spreading out to the forest in small groups, then getting back together to fight a large enemy and fight always behind enemy territory. This is what we're prepared for. This is what we train to do every day. Žaliukas, what it says is a person who blends in the forest. It's mostly the English translation is a forest brother. Žaliukas is a forest brother. When you're fighting in the forest, all you have is what you have on your back. And your team has everything they're carrying themselves. So you're still living like the forest brother. You're independent from anyone else. Nobody's giving you ammo, nobody's giving you water, nobody's giving you food. You have to find it yourself in the forest.
Bet, patīkami jau bija, ne? Vismaz tu var droši runāt. Tā kā tagad mēs jau agrāk tā nevarējām runāt. Tagad mēs runājamies droši. Man tomēr sameklēja, ka šite sāk Carnikovā dzīvot. Man sameklēja, un es tā divreiz, viņi saka, jums jāziņo mums Čekai, kad kāds varbūt brauc uz Zviedriju no Carnikovas. Es viņi saku, kas no Carnikovas, Ventspils pie Zviedrijas ir tuvāko, ne? Un tad beigās viņi, čorts, viņi saka. Un tad viņi man lika mierā, ne?